Hello there. Once again, it's Anton from Anton and Will Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. This is a gorgeous Saturday morning here, and I just want to thank you guys for stopping by. Today I am looking at some comic books. These are dinosaur themed, all of them. We've got a couple issues of the original Jurassic Park adaptation from the film, which are pretty, I love them because they're kind of a hybrid of what the book was intending and what the movie came up with. And then we've got Top's version of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs and Xenozoic Tales, which are the same properties under a different name. They decided, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was a better name than Xenozoic Tales. And they are definitely right. But we will start with Xenozoic Tales. This was from Kitchen Sink Comics, Mark Schultz. This is a brilliant comic title, and it had some really fantastic artwork. It features one of my favorite comic book characters / action figures is Hannah Dundee. I've absolutely loved this figure my whole life. It's like just a little 5 POA. But I have her and Jack and the car and everything. It's one of my more prized vintage play toys. So anyway, the premise is basically, dinosaurs have returned, mankind has fallen, and there is a hierarchy civilization that is built around the existence of dinosaurs, or the avoidance of dinosaurs, essentially. But they're also fighting each other. I mean, this is not without human confrontations in various places. So it's more of a complex, sci-fi-ish type story. It definitely doesn't feel like a jungle title, even though a lot of the covers kind of look like that. It's not. It's more complex than that. Now, this is 94, so I am quite sure this came out after Jurassic Park. I'm not positive. It would have definitely been after the book, Jurassic Park, if I remember correctly. But you can see the art is stellar. The guy did a fantastic, really crisp job on black and white stuff. And I've always really enjoyed it. And you can look, he's not littering the pages or covering his art with a whole bunch of dialogue either. I mean, we got pretty minimal dialogue, and it just looks really good. It just has a good feel to it. But I do warn you, it is not as gung-ho. I mean, it's not like a Frank Cho Jungle Girls with Dinosaurs type book, which I kind of prefer. This one's a little bit more slower paced, a little bit more human to human battle, conflict, interaction. It's not man versus wild. It's man versus man in the wild. So that's kind of my take on it. I do think, I have quite a few issues that I found of Xenozoic Tales, but I think I prefer it once it's kind of more Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which was also a cartoon show, if you remember right. And one of the best not RPGs, platform battle, what do they call it, arcade style battle games ever was Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Love Hannah Dundee. And as far as Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, let's see here. What's our year? The last one is 94. This is also 94. Gives you the story thus far. This is 500 years after sealing itself off from a worldwide catastrophe. Mankind emerged into an ecosystem composed virtually of every type of life which had ever existed on Earth. Is your premise. So future definitely, but you can see this one jumps right into it, and we get a lot more vintage jungle comic type feel, more Journey to the Center of the Earth type man versus wild, as opposed to the politics of man versus man, which I like the basic man versus wild stories better. Wow, that is cool. And it's really creepy. One of the brainies that's taken over a human skeleton. That's awesome. I wonder if the brainies will take over dinosaur skeletons later. That seems like a logical thing. The art is not as refined in this color edition, but it's still good. It's serviceable. And it's bright and pretty. I like the fact that they did not shy away from bright colors. I kind of hate it when books get too dark and too monotone colored and too earth toned and flattened out. Some Eclipse comics tend to do that, and that's always, I find, very sad. Like, you should just keep it bright. It's a comic. It should be colorful. I like it. Now, this army of these brain things controlling skeletons is pretty cool. And, yep, I called it. A brain thing controlling a dinosaur. Because, of course. Sailor take warning. Here be monsters. Sea monsters. It's funny, they have the little tiny story in the back is what's on the cover. But pretty cool. Very happy with that. And I was also going to say, these are ones I got out of a bargain bin for 50 cents a piece. So I was very, very excited about these. A Jurassic Park #1. I don't remember this cover because I had this series. And yeah, mine was like a black cover with the original Park logo. This is probably which was probably the original. And this is, like I said, it's somewhat based on the movie and somewhat on the cartoon because well, it's a little mixed up. Like this guy who looks like Malcolm is actually Muldoon, which is weird and mixed up. Yeah, and then Gennaro looks, well, different. Everybody looks different, except for some reason, Ellie Sattler and Grant, they seem to get those characters like dead on correct as far as, you know, who was playing them and how they should look. However, the big romance thing between them was, I don't know. That wasn't in the book. I guess it was in the movie. I don't remember it being quite so strong in the movie. And that's not the same kid, clearly. Hammond looks right. Nedry looks right. I wonder what the mix-up with Muldoon was. Or what the deal is. Why does Muldoon look wrong? Because now here we've got Ian Malcolm looking, you know, exactly right for Ian Malcolm. But he does not look like the right guy at the start of the comic. Which I thought was, I've always thought was bizarre. But you can tell, like, with the vehicles, in the original novel, they were Land Rover vehicles. And so, like, you know, what are these? What are those? Those aren't, they don't look like Jeeps. But, some of the elements were the same. Some were altered. Now they look like Jeeps, kinda. But you can see the original vision. It's there, and I loved this because I was able to get my hands on these before I ever saw the movie. And I had read the book like 4 times by the time I went to go see the movie, so. I was a young lad. That was one of my first novels I ever really got into. And it was the first time I ever found out that the book is always better than the film. You know, so that's a thing. I don't believe it. Brilliant. Way closer. You could tell. Like, they didn't look at the storyboards or anything. They kind of made their own version of it as they take it. I like it, though. I don't know why Hammond is wearing, like, this cowboy hat. I wonder if we'll see Muldoon in this issue, and maybe you'll explain why he looks wrong. Or maybe there is, oh no. Now we have Muldoon. Now he looks right. So who was the guy in the first issue who looks like Malcolm doing all that stuff? I don't know. It's odd. Shift of that original, who is that in the first panels, and why does he look so different from what he's supposed to? But now we're pretty much like solid with the book. We're looking, we got the Ford Explorers, the 91 or 93, I can't remember what it was. I believe they were 93 Ford Explorers, and they were Land Rovers in the comic, or in the book. Nobody should identify themselves as a hacker, ever. I'm a hacker. That was terrible. If you've never read the original novel, I highly recommend it. It's so much better than the movie. I remember thinking, man, I hated this movie because it was so not like the book, which was so perfect. And this was like, it just felt like a really cheap version of it. I have since come to love the film, so I can't disparage it much. But these are just a cool blend of the modern film and some of the original ideas from the comic. And I just thought that was pretty cool. That is pretty much what I got. Those are some Dinosaur books. I don't even know which cover I like the best. I think I like this out of all of those. So, and that's what I'll leave you with. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.